by saying there was no such thing as phys ed in this one-room schoolhouse. They didn't have phys ed at that time in one-room schoolhouses. However, phys ed, PE, gym class, whatever you want to call it, did start around the time that this building was built. In New York City, for example, or other large cities, they did start to have PE, physical education. At that point in time in America, the Civil War was starting to become a thing, right? It wasn't quite the Civil War yet to the 1860s, but they started to think that war might be coming, or they knew that wars were occurring throughout the world, and they knew that America would most likely be in another one. So they needed a way for the kids to stay in shape. Phys ed was born. They then said, okay, there is a need to get our kids ready in shape to go to war someday. At that time, it was all about becoming a soldier. Okay, as I said, it wasn't in this building, but in more in city schools. After that passed, gets closer to the 1900s, physical education for girls was mostly about gymnastics or gymnastic type activities, and for boys, it was about rough sports. Matthew, boxing was one of those things that they used to do back then. Roughhousing, right. Wrestling, right? Wrestling is a version of that, with rules, just like they do in high school today. Boxing, football was another one. Okay, so that was going on at that time. And hygiene, which is about how to take care of your bodies, right? Staying healthy. After the World War II time, it started to become more sports and fitness and things that would look familiar to you today. Okay, we've built, over the years, physical education has become more than just sports and fitness, but you still recognize a lot of that stuff. We still do play basketball. We still have, jumping jacks, push-ups, things of that nature. Soccer, right. The things that they did after World War II would look familiar to you. It would be more about, you didn't move unless the coach told you to move, right? You had to stand in lines, and it was very regimented, but it would look familiar. So what is it that I'm doing here with you today? Well, the teacher throughout the day would need a break. Okay, she may need to eat her lunch. She may want a break in terms of she just wants the kids to go burn energy. We all know that kids need to burn energy, so you send them outside. They would play games. So how did they run those games? Well, the kids would come out, and the older kids would teach the younger kids how to play games. It would be passed down from generation to generation. So if I was a 13-year-old kid, I might come in and say, okay, kids, today we're going to play this game, and I would teach you the rules. And then when Ben gets to be 13, he might show the little ones how to play this game. Okay? The first one we're going to start off with is just regular old tag. All the games that we're playing today are games that they played on these fields. The old timers, the people that attended here as students, told me these were the games they played. I need somebody to be it.
Oh, I will.
All right, Matthew. Now, Matthew, back in the day, they didn't use noodles to tag. They just used their hands. So you're going to tag somebody. He tags Jason. Okay. LJ, okay. I remember that as Jason. All right, so Matthew, you tag LJ. LJ, wait. He freezes. Anybody can unfreeze him by coming over and getting it. When the kids would come out, they'd set borders up. They might say, okay, we're going to play from the creek to the edge of the woods, to the edge of the road. We're going to use hostess borders, because there's trucks and tents and all kinds of things out there. Orange, 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 orange. Look over here. Uneven ground. Over there. Open-faced rock. Are you aware of that? Okay. When you're ready, you tell the kids to start.
Go! You're frozen. You're frozen.
And hold on. Now, Matthew, you are being the big kid right now, meaning that you are representing the older kid here, right? You're running the game. So, when you start to lose your breath, what would you do?
What?
Okay. As the older kid, you starting to lose your breath. How would you then, what would that encourage you to do?
Let's try out the end.
Yes, and you would be, as the older kid, the person that chose you would take your spot.
Oh, Jay, you could be it.
Dang it. Ready, Edgar? You gotta call someone to go.
Go. You keep freezing me. I need a breath. Thank you. I'm good.
No.
Hold on. Okay. Come on over to this red line that Coach is standing on. Shoulder to shoulder line. You can spread out a little bit. Yeah. Spread out a little bit. Spread out a little bit. Spread out a little bit. Thank you. Matthew, you can join us now. We're gonna take turns being that older kid today. Okay. So the next game that we're gonna play, I absolutely love this game, and I would play it at school, but I'd like to save it for this special day. It's called Fox and Geese in the Snow. And the way that this game would work is after a big snowstorm, the kids would all come out here. And wherever you see the red lines is where the kids would come out and they would pat the snow down. Okay, everywhere there's a red line. And then if you were to look at it from the sky downwards, it would look almost like a pie shape. Okay, apple pie, you know how it's cut all through little triangles? Except for the middle. The middle part is all packed down. Okay, this is all flat in the middle. Fox and Geese in the Snow has a tag game, has a home free zone. Okay, so if you're playing and you're in here, the fox cannot get you. This is safe space. The geese trying to get away from the fox. Fox tags you. You become the next fox. All right, so Rowan, I'm gonna have you start off as the fox. You're the big kid here. Okay. You tag somebody, they're going to be the next fox. But you need to tell the whole group that because...
So basically, it's like Run, Rabbit, Run.
I've never played that one, but it could be. So you want to say it like this. I tag Ben, he's it. So that everybody knows now Ben is the next fox. Any questions?
Can you just stand in the middle the whole time?
You could. However, I can tell you that I would imagine back to those days. And if I were a kid back in the old days and somebody just came in here and stood there or sat down in the middle, they might say something to me, the other kids, like, hey, why are you even playing if you're just going to sit down the whole time? You know, you'd probably get a comment similar to that. So, you know, come in here, you can take a breath, you can think strategy, where's that fox, and then exit and stop.
Basically, the middle is like a break area.
Home free.
Yeah.
You can't get tagged. The fox, Rowan, may come into the center circle here where the red line is, but you may not go inside.
So you can only be on the line.
Yes,
Yeah,
you can
but
only be on the line.
are you allowed to go out of the red circle?
Well, here's the thing. Is this a big deal? No. I'm right close to the line. It's right, you know, it's within the spirit of the game. Kids that would be running through the middle of where there's no lines would probably, thinking that it's snow, would probably be destroying what the kids spent 20 minutes trying to pack down. So you want to stay near the red lines as that's the game. Right. Rowan, you ready? Tell them to start when you're ready. Say to your classmates, say, I got Owen. All right, so now everybody knows Owen's the next fox.
Owen was right. Why don't we stay in the circle for a minute?
Okay, go back.
There's no rule as to how long you stay in the middle. Jasmine, you know what I mean by set up camp? Well, set up camp in there, you know. Get in there, take your breath, take a break, and then leave. Then leave, you know. So this scene is called Mother, Father, or Captain. May I? Would you like the kids wants to refer to you as mother or captain? Okay, so here's how this one works. You also, actually, I need you to make like a side-by-side line over there. So you're in a side-by-side, not kind of shaped like a horseshoe. You're going to say to her, take 2 steps forwards. As the mother, you are able to say 3 things. You're able to say yes, you may, no, you may not, or here's the one that most kids enjoy, no, you may not, however, you may take 2 baby steps forward. Okay, you could be creative with that part. Yes, you have to refer to her as mother. Now, a couple other things that you could use as examples, not limited to, but as examples. Mother, may I hop forwards? Mother, may I run 3 steps forwards? May I jump forwards? You could be creative with how you get there.
The first person here that I'm
The person that gets to you first would be the next mother, father, captain.
Please, they just keep saying no.
Well, she could do that, but would that be fun for her or anybody?
No,
Probably
would
not.
it be fun with us? Because nobody would get to her first.
Right. Christine knows that she can't say no to everybody. Now, Christine, you also have to think about, can you hold still for a second? Sorry for Coach Dutch. If Ben says, can I take 10 steps forwards? You're going to be done with the game because he's reached you first time, right? So you want to kind of make it so that they are moving forwards, but you also are the big kid for a few minutes, right? Questions? Yes?
Can she say no, but you can take 2 steps back? Yeah.
She could say to send you back, yes. Generally speaking, the only time that happened today is when somebody's been really greedy with their question. Can I take 15 steps forwards? And then they're going to get sent back because they're being, more greedy than they should have on the question. So, Christine, why don't you start right around here where this red line, part of the red line is.
Mother?
You start on one end and it works its way down. Okay, you're in charge, so tell them what you want them to do.
Mother, may I take 1 step forward? Yes, but it's step me down. Mother, may I jump 1 leap forward? No, 1 step forward. Lean outside this.
So blind man's bluff works as follows, okay? Jasmine's going to get a blindfold. And I can tell you, if you get a chance to do that with a blindfold, you can peek through it, but if you do, it kind of takes away from the fun of the game, right? So you want to try to keep everything closed in terms of your eyes.
My black mask, I can cover my nose and my mouth and my eyes.
Okay, that works. The person who is it in blind man's bluff spins around 5 times. After the 5th spin, they say stop. Okay, everybody's got to stop. Now, a couple of things that you want to be aware of, border-wise. Don't go over to the tent, the high grass, over by the porta-john, your truck, right? You have to go somewhere that's further than the larger red circle, but not into any of those other places that I talked about.
What if you have to go to the bathroom?
When you gotta go. But if she says stop, what she's referring to is your feet. So she's going to be coming towards you, right? Now, if she comes towards you, you can do a couple things. You can lean, right? You can bend down. That's fine. I will tell you, Jasmine, that as the person who's it, I'm going to be walking near you so that you don't trip or fall or anything like that.
Okay, that's fine.
And you can make noises. You could try to
So basically,
mess her up by throwing your voice a little bit to the side.
so basically it's like Marco Polo.
It's very similar to Marco Polo. All right, come on in here to the middle. Okay, so on the outside of the red line, now you're going to spin around 5 times. Go ahead. Then holler out, stop.
Stop.
Okay. Hey, she said stop. Go on the outside of the furthest red circle. Then back up. Then go on the outside of the red circle. There you go. Okay, good. You go ahead. Oh, magic can't move here. No, I'm right with you. Take off your blanket. All right, then go ahead to the middle.
Wait, everyone, we gotta make a huge noise on it when Owen says
All right.
wait.
So, all right. Close your eyes. Sit down 5 times. Red Rover. Red Rover sends, right? Hide and seek, and they used to do a lot of sleigh riding. Okay, have a good rest of your day.